YouTube, what is good? Journos, comics, and pop culture here. I got a video today for all of you eBay sellers and eBay buyers. I'm both. I sell on eBay. Obviously, I hunt on eBay. This video goes beyond comic books. I mean, it's really anything that we can purchase off of eBay or sell on eBay. But, you know, it's definitely very, very present within the realm of comic books and collecting. So I'm going to tackle an issue kind of from both sides and kind of give you guys a little business mind. And of course it comes down to it being my opinion. But I'm going to discuss how negotiations work on eBay when sellers select the best offer option. Now, for those that don't know, on eBay, when you sell, you can use the bid option. So it goes to the highest bidder when time runs out. You can use the buy it now option, which is your set price, says this thing is $14.99 and that's it plus shipping. Or you can use the buy it now with the best offer option. So if something is priced at a buy it now for $15 and you select that best offer, then a buyer has the ability to go in and select an offer lower than that asking price. The seller then can look at that offer and say, you know what, that's low, it's still too low, I'm going to counter you with the higher offer. And you guys do this until you agree upon an offer, or excuse me, the seller thinks that, you know, or the seller states that, you know, you're still too low, or the buyer says you're still too high, and then you can decline offers or time runs out and your offer expires. So let me tell you guys what I've been filling out lately, okay? I made an offer on some Mylars, okay? It was a pack of 50 2 mil Mylars. The buy it now price was $18 plus shipping. They had a best offer option. So hey, I put in a best offer of $15. That's only $3 off the asking price, off the original buy it now price, okay? The seller declined my offer. So I went back and I emailed them and said, look, you know, why are you offering a best offer option? And then I make a best offer, you don't like it, but you decline it instead of countering it. I don't get it. So they said, well, it's for multiple. So I said, okay. I went back. I clicked a quantity of 3. And I put in $16 this time for 3. And they declined it again. It's only $2 from the asking price. This happened as well for some boards. There was a 100 boards, 100 backing boards. Set it like $12.89 with free shipping, so that's decent. But it had a best offer, so I hit like $11 or something. And the individual did counter, but only went to like $12.79. And then I went up to like 12 even, and they went down to like $12.75. And I'm like, that's only like 10 cents off of the original buy it now price. I mean, what's the point? You know, so it's really interesting. Now, there was a book. I bid on a book. It was Invincible Iron Man #9. It's the first appearance of Riri Johnson. It's not very valuable yet. Standard fair market value is probably somewhere around $6, maybe $8 if it's near mint condition. So this book was like $9.98 or something, plus $6 shipping, which is a little hefty for one book, but hey, you get penalties as a seller, fees, and all that stuff as well. So I put a best offer of $5, so there would still be $5 plus shipping. They declined it. I probably would have been willing to pay like up to $7.50 for that book, which is still probably right around fair market value, plus a slightly bloated shipping, slightly. And it was declined. So instead of the buyer or the sellers negotiating with me, they're declining it, like, instead of working with a counter offers. Now, here's my thing. eBay allows a threshold for auto declines. Okay, now I'm a seller. So if I'm selling a t-shirt and I'm selling it for $20 and I put a best offer, I'm probably going to, I always set my auto declines at probably like, I don't know, 30 to 40% of the asking price, which is really low. So, you know, if I'm selling a shirt for 20, I probably put my auto decline at like $8. So, or $7.99. So it gives a lot of wiggle room. So as a seller, if somebody puts in a best offer of $9, I'm gonna respect it, but I'm gonna counter very high still. I'll probably counter $19, maybe $18, just a couple dollars off the price to see what they do next. But I already have in my head the lowest I'm gonna go, and the lowest I'm gonna go probably is say $15. But if I counter with 18, and then they go to 11, and I counter with 16, and they go to 13, and I go to 15 and say final offer, they might accept that at that point. That's negotiating. You get to this kind of what they call market equilibrium. I posted on a comic book forum on Facebook that has like hundreds of thousands of members. And I posted about this. And honestly, I just want a feedback, because my question is this. Do these sellers understand the idea of negotiating? Now remember, adding the best offer option is an option. If you are so tight with what you want for your product, just put a buy it now. Don't even put it there. Why waste anybody's time, yours and potential buyers? So I posted this on a Facebook page, and I got so much flack. There was people that kind of slightly disagreed with me but were respectful, but then came the individuals that had to be cynical and childish. And I hate when grown adults act like that. I'm going to be straight up. And, you know, people, you guys watching right now, you might be disagreeing with me to a certain extent as of this point. But let's be humble and understanding here. But I'm going to put my business knowledge to work here. The response that I got for many of these responses on this post was asking, because I put in the post, you know, I asked no lower than 50% of the original buy it now price. And a lot of people were like, asking anywhere near 50% of the buy it now price is an insult. That's offensive to sellers. Here's what I got to say to you guys, and I don't mean to be harsh. I tend to respect people's different opinions, but I'm sorry. I disagree highly because of this. Understanding business and understanding a market, okay? It is stupid, I will say stupid, to think that a seller isn't going to try to sell high, and it is stupid to think that a buyer isn't going to try to buy low. It is smart business if a seller opens an item up to negotiating, and that's what they're doing when they do the best offer. They are inviting negotiations, the seller is. So if the seller is going to be offended by a low price, then they shouldn't be putting the negotiating offer in the first place. Set a buy it now and set it there, and boom. It is good business for a potential buyer to offer as low as they can. Because guess what? It works often. There's a lot of times, you know, and I learned in business and in business school, always negotiate your price, even when you're trying to get a job. If you have an interview and you ask what they're hiring at, and they say 15, and you say, look, this is what I offer to you, I want 17. All they could do is say no. To sit there and say that, oh, well, that's insulting. How dare you? You know, I mean, why do you think companies set minimum wages? I could say that's insulting. It's insulting. I don't care if they're flipping burgers. They're working their asses off. but they set a minimum because that's as low as they can go. So back to negotiating on eBay. If you open up the opportunity for negotiations, you cannot be a seller and be offended or insulted by a buyer wanting to go low. Now, if you are, you probably shouldn't be a seller in the first place if you're getting insulted, and you probably don't understand business. Here's where you can get around that, because this is what was happening to me. I would set a price, and maybe I was lowballing it. That offer would sit there for anywhere from 24 to 48 to 72 hours, and then they would come back and just decline it without even countering. There is a auto decline option. So what that does is, I told you guys, like I set mine. If I had something at 20, at a buy it now, I would set my auto decline at 8. That means if somebody goes in there and puts an offer of 7, once they hit click, submit offer, it automatically says decline. So nobody's time is being wasted. So the buyer, the potential buyer, knows, okay, this is below their threshold. So if a seller actually wants to say, I have a threshold of how low I can go, set that auto decline. It's there for a reason. Therefore, you're not wasting anybody's time, and nobody is wasting your time. I understand that a lot of times people lowballing probably want to lowball. I was selling a Rogue One special edition box set, brand new, for $59.99 or best offer. I think my auto decline threshold was at like $20, and somebody offered like $22. I didn't automatically decline then. I set the tone. You know what I did? I said I counter with $57. That shows them I'm serious. It's not wasting my time. How long does it take me to put a counter? If I get a bing on my phone, bing, offer, ding, ding, 57, ding. It literally takes me like 20 seconds to counter that offer. So I don't want to hear I don't have time for that. If you don't have time for it, set your threshold. When I set that 57 counter with that 57, they came back with like 25. So then I knew that they probably weren't very serious, and I set my next offer at 55, and I said you can comment in your offers that said, this is as low as I'm going, because I know that this is going on the market for this rate right now. They declined my offer, and everyone moved on. So I just, for all you guys out there, the buyers need to understand that if they are lowballing, they can't get insulted or offended when buyers either set an auto decline and have a threshold, or counter with a very high price, unless it's like 5 cents. Then that's like kind of silly. It's like, why are you offering it in the first place? But we also need to understand, the sellers also need to understand that it is a buyer's market, and it is a free market. And if you give buyers the option to negotiate, you better be up to negotiating. Otherwise, leave it off. This idea of people being offended and insulted, I don't understand it one bit. I really don't. So that's my rant, guys. I mean, I know there's a lot of stipulations on eBay. I know eBay can be kind of a complicated place sometimes, but when it comes down to the bare basics of what I'm talking about, we all got to understand business. We have to understand business. And there's no emotions in business. Somebody said you have to have empathy for the seller. No, I don't. This is business. Have empathy for the seller. The seller's trying to make money. The seller sets the tone. That's why I said, either do a buy it now or a bid, and don't have the best offer option, or set your auto decline threshold. I have to have empathy for the seller. If the seller opens Pandora's box to allow me to put an offer in, I'm going low. It's like gambling. I'm going low. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. You know, I hate to sound, I'm not trying to sound holier than thou. I really try to stay away from that. But when there's something that I'm passionate about and I know that I got a certain pedigree and knowledge behind me, I got to come and state this and put it out there. It's like, this is simple business. So I don't think there's really any insults or offensiveness in business. In this type of business, when we negotiate and we open the doors for negotiation. So with that said, guys, let's just be humble. Let's respect both sides, the sellers and the buyers, and understand it's not friendship, it's not empathy, it's business. And on that note, I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Leave some comments. Be kind to each other in the comments. If you have different opinions than me, please type them and post them respectfully. Like I said, I know I get passionate about this stuff. I don't mean it to be in a derogatory way. I just want to challenge your guys' minds, and I want to provoke your minds to actually look at this and think about it. So with that being said, guys, I'll leave you be. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, click subscribe. Until next time.